All right, the Tuesday evening edition of Weather for Weather Geeks coming to you from the home office this evening in an effort, of course, to maximize social distancing. I'm spending as little time as possible at the station, at the studio, so you'll see future editions of Weather for Weather Geeks fairly frequently from right here at my home office. All right, today's forecast was a thumbs down. We had 52 in the forecast today. It was a bust. The clouds did not break for any sunshine this afternoon, unfortunately, and that kept temperatures no higher than the mid-40s. So it was not a very good forecast today. Never like to miss a forecast by 8 degrees on day one, but when the clouds don't break, that sort of thing is bound to happen. So it looks like this on our time lapse in Columbiana today. Slate gray, overcast. Sky tried to brighten a little bit in Columbiana and surrounding areas late in the day, but for the most part, of course, the flavor of the day was clouds. All right, Severe Weather Awareness Week continues in the state of Ohio this week, so we've been touching on all aspects of severe weather. We'll continue to do so this week. Our severe weather season around here, of course, typically kind of peaks in May and June, and we've had not only severe weather, but some flooding problems in May and June over the last couple of years. But this is, in the state of Ohio, Severe Weather Awareness Week, kind of the start of things ramping up in terms of the frequency of thunderstorms and severe weather across our region. Wanted to touch this evening on just a little bit of inside baseball here on television coverage and how we do things when it comes to tornado and severe thunderstorm warnings. You know, we're not in a tornado hotspot in our part of the state and our part of the country, but occasionally, of course, we do have to break into live television whenever we have a tornado warning somewhere in our television viewing area. And we will stay on TV as long as that warning is active. Now, because we have a fairly small viewing area and we're not in a particularly tornado-prone part of the country, I don't have a ton of problems usually with people getting nasty with me interrupting their programming, but occasionally, of course, people do get irritated with extended, long-form severe weather coverage if their favorite show is on and the tornado or the potential tornado is not threatening their house. It's not a very neighborly way of going about things, but people do have that attitude, and we do get some feedback sometimes when we have extended severe weather coverage, but that's the policy, and it's not unique to our television station. Television stations throughout the country have this policy. Hey, we have a tornado warning, we're going to be on TV. Severe thunderstorm warnings typically will cut in once on TV for each new warning, unless it's a particularly dangerous situation. If we have a derecho that's producing winds of 80 miles per hour, or really huge hail, really life-threatening kinds of severe thunderstorm warnings, we'll sometimes treat that like a tornado warning, but in just kind of a run-of-the-mill summertime thunderstorm that could produce a localized wind gust and maybe some small hail, that typically does not warrant wall-to-wall coverage. Now, in this day and age, of course, you don't have to just watch on TV to see severe weather coverage. We're going to be streaming on WFMJ.com, the 21 News app, the Storm Tracker 21 app as well, in addition to being live on Facebook and on YouTube. So just a little behind the scenes as to what you can expect as we go into severe weather season, and we have to cover severe weather on TV and online. I'll tell you, it's getting a little bit green in some spots. I noticed this evening that the grass was looking greener in some locations on my trip home, and certainly things are starting to bud here and there. It certainly becomes more noticeable as you go off to the south, and especially down towards Pittsburgh, Morgantown, Charleston. But all of this is creeping north, and overall the leaf out in parts of the Ohio Valley and the Mid-Atlantic states is a good 2 weeks, if not more, ahead of schedule, thanks to the warm winter and the warm start to the spring season. All right, we have some wet weather heading our way later on tonight. This is all Virga on the leading edge, but this is legit rain down here, even a tornado watch down across parts of Tennessee, a couple of tornado warnings in northern Alabama as of 7:13 this evening. Again, this is just Virga that's going to show up on our model here this evening. The legit rain comes in late tonight and heading into our Wednesday morning. And this is all going to be pretty light, but we are going to notice it at times late tonight, heading into Wednesday morning. Thankfully, not a washout on Wednesday, as the light rain and drizzle should taper off by mid to late morning. May take a little while for any clouds to thin, but Hopefully we do better than today in terms of intervals of sun for our Wednesday afternoon. Actually, a pretty nice day coming up on Thursday. We'll have a mix of sun and clouds. I've got 64 in the forecast for Thursday afternoon. This next front holds off until the overnight, so it'll be a good day to get outside. There'll be some sun, especially around midday, and it'll be warmer than the previous days. So all of us need a little vitamin D these days, and the weather will cooperate some on Thursday. Then some showers along that front Thursday night. I think the timing on the showers Friday is mostly in the morning. This front will sag far enough to the south that we should be in a dry interval for Friday afternoon before showers likely return later Friday night and heading into the day on Saturday. All right, happy hour run of the GFS. That's the GFS Ensemble doing its thing where it just goes crazy. I don't know why it does that, but anyway, you get the idea here. This is the rainfall forecast on the modeling through the next week, all the way through next Tuesday. A lot of March showers here. We're going to have an unsettled weekend. This will be our most inclement weekend we've had in over a month. We've had a string of pretty benign weekends in a row, but we'll have some rain at times Saturday and Sunday, and rainfall totals of 1.5 inches to 2 inches over the next 7 days do seem pretty likely. So lots of late March showers, maybe bringing us some April flowers. That being said, the 6 to 10 day outlook, so a lot of next week, it does not look as wet. I think it'll actually be a pretty benign week coming up next week, and that'll be good news. The more we're shut in and not leaving the house much, the more the weather, when it is nice outside, will help our moods a little bit. And so something to look forward to, I think, next week will be fewer clouds, fewer intervals of rain, and more opportunities to get outside for that walk, get outside for that run without having to really bundle up too much. So some good news in the longer range. All right, that'll do it for me on this Tuesday evening edition of Weather for Weather Geeks. Thank you for watching, everyone, and I'll see you back here on Wednesday.